Nice. Okay, so over here, ratio and proportion worksheets. Okay, so I think you already have some understanding of these concepts, ratio and proportion. Okay, so this one is pretty simple. Okay, so you are given this ratio. So they ask you to simplify, meaning you have to find the simplest form. Okay, so let me just get this to PowerPoint because it's easier for me to I have more space over there. So today is your last day in your primary school, right? Before you.
No, yesterday was the last day.
And today is your. I mean, that means basically today you are having your holiday already.
Yeah. Wait, I show you something. This is a bear in my school uniform.
Yeah. So it's your like graduation gift?
Yeah.
Nice. Looks quite big, huh? Which is quite good. It means you are given a big gift. Okay, you have your class T-shirt signed by your classmates.
Somebody wrote your mom at the side of my shirt.
Okay. So okay lah, that means they are trying to be funny about all this. Okay, yeah. So all right, back to this. Okay, you can hug the bear and then listen to our class. Bebe, okay. So you are also learning, Bebe. Okay, good. So okay, over here, the first question, you are given 42 to 63. So this is in ratio format. This is in ratio format. Okay. And in fact, if you are given 42 to 63 in ratio format, right, you could have just returned 62 over 63. This is in fraction format. And these two, they are mathematically, these two, they are the same. Okay, sorry, that's format. Okay, mathematically, these two are the same. Okay, so both are accepted. Okay, both of these, they are accepted. Okay, one of them is in ratio format. Okay, you use the two dots here, and then this is in fraction format. But both of them, they mean the same thing. They mean 42 to 63. All right, so I hope you know about this. So once you get this 42 to 63, right, either format, okay? So if you get 42 to 63 or 42 over 63, right, what you could have done is, if you use a calculator, right, if you use a calculator, I think your calculator is going to give you what? Can you use your calculator and tell me what fraction you get?
2/3.
Okay, you will get 2/3. Okay, so if you use your calculator, you're going to get 2/3. Okay, you can express your answer in this manner as well. Okay, so this is 2/3 and this is also 2 to 3. Okay, they mean the same thing. All right, so how do you get 2 to 3? Okay, so you can do it in fraction format or you can do it in ratio format. Let me do it in ratio format first. So 42 to 63. So how do you do it in ratio format? So what you could have done, so since you have 42 here, you have 63 here. So in fact, we have learned what? We have learned LCM and we have learned HCF. Okay, so which concept you can make use of here? Okay, now you want to, so over here, the question asks you to simplify, right? Simplify. So you want to simplify this. That means you need to divide. Okay, you need to divide something. When you divide something, you want to make use of the concept of HCF. Okay, you want to make use of the concept of HCF. I'm going to explain to you why, or do you realize that you need to use the highest common factor concept? Do you realize or not? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, good. So it's okay. So we have learned this HCF, okay, in our previous 2 lessons. So right now, let's make use of this concept, HCF. So how do you get HCF? Before you get HCF, you need to get the prime factorization first. Okay, you need to get the prime factorization for both of this. So the prime factorization for 42 is 6 times 7, and 6 you can split to 2 times 3 times 7. Okay, so this will be the prime factorization of for 42. Okay, next, so what is the prime factorization for 63? Okay, is 7 times 9, right? And 9 you can split it to 3 times 3, and 3 times 3 is 3 to the power of 2. Okay, so you can actually write your prime factorization for 63 in index notation. This is called index notation. Okay, index notation. All right, this is index notation. So once you get this, how do you find the HCF? The two tips. Number one, shared factor. Number two, lowest power. Right? If you can remember. So over here, you can look at this 237, and then this is 73. So the two, I can see two shared factors here. One of them is 3, and then the other one is 7. So the HCF is 3 times 7. And I need to choose the lowest power for 3. So here is 1, here is 2, lowest power is 1. 7, lowest power is 1. So therefore the HCF is actually 21. So with 21, that is the HCF. So that means what you could have done is make use of the HCF. You divide by 21 here, you divide by 21 here, and you will end up with, so 42 divided by 21, you will get 2. 63 divided by 21, you are going to get 3. That's why you get, if you make use of the concept of HCF, you can get the simplest form immediately. All right. If you don't make use of the concept of HCF, right, I think a lot of students will just do this 42 to 63 divided by 2, then you realize 2 cannot, because 63 cannot, it's not divisible by 2, right? So you cannot choose 2. So I think you can choose 3. So 42 divided by 3, you get 14. 63 divided by 3, 21. And you are going to divide by 7 from here onwards. Then you get 2 and you get 3. And I hope you realize if you make use of what you have learned in primary 6, you are going to go through step. This is step 2, this is step 1, and then this is your last step, which is the answer. All right. So over here is what you have learned in P6. Am I right? Okay. So in fact, if you make use of the HCF, right, then you can quickly get the answer immediately. So I hope you know that actually you can make use of HCF to simplify ratio. Are you clear? They are linked somehow. Okay. So I hope you stop using this method. Okay, from today onwards. Okay. So a lot of questions in the future. What you are going to get is you are going to get this kind of question. Okay, 42 and 63, and then what I'm trying to say is going forward, what they will ask you to do is prime factorization of 42 and 63. That's your part A. And then they will ask you to find the HCF of 42 and 63. And then part C is 42 to 63. Okay, so what I'm trying to show you here is I want to show you actually all these are linked, right? So over here, you can get the prime factorization for both of them, and then you can get the HCF, which is 21. We found out just now. So just make use of the HCF 21 here, and then you can just quickly make use of the HCF, and you divide, you will get 2 to 3 very fast. Okay, so going forward, you are going to get such questions. All right, and they are linked. All right. So even though you get your first question, correct, but I'm showing you can actually make use of HCF. Okay. I hope you are going to use HCF in the future as well. So are you clear? Okay, good. So we should look at 2 now. Question 2, it says Ron gets 20% more marks than John. So find the ratio of their marks. So over here, it involves ratio and of course percentage. Okay, so for percentage, and then I hope you still remember how you do percentage. So over here, what it says is Ron is 20% more marks than John. So if John is 1, right, then Ron gets 20% more than John. So John is 1, 1 is also 100%. So Ron is going to be 20% more. So 20% more means 20% more than 100%. So 20% more than 100% is 120%. Okay, so this should be your step 1. So once you get this step 1, right, what you can do is simplify. So you have your percentage, just delete them, divide by 10. I'm using your primary 6 knowledge to do this question. And then of course you divide by 2, you get 6, you divide by 2, you get 5. So you end up with 6 to 5. So this is primary 6 knowledge. All right, this is primary 6 knowledge. But if you don't want to use the primary 6 knowledge, you can actually make use of the HCF, right? You want to make use of the HCF because you have learned the concept of HCF. I'm going to show you how. And you get the 120% over here, and then you get the 100% over here. So between the 120% and 100%, so the first step is you can delete the percentage first. And then what is common? What is common? I mean, what's the HCF? What's the HCF between these two numbers? The answer is 20. So if the HCF for these two is 20, so you just need to divide by 20 on both sides. And therefore, you get 6 here and you get 5 here. So that's why you get. Oh yeah, please go for your toilet break and come back fast.
What?
Ching ching. Dun, 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 dun,
Oh my
dun,
God.
dun, 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 right? Never mind. Snoop Dogg.
You very.
All right. Okay. Question 3. Question 3. So yeah, we want to lighten the mood a little bit. Okay. So question 3 over here says what? Divide 490 in the ratio 4 to 3. Do you understand? Do you understand this? What was the meaning of this? Divide this 490 in the ratio of this. Okay. I realized, right, the English part for the homework is harder than the mathematics part. Am I right or not? Because some of the questions I realize you don't understand. You don't understand the question. Okay. So divide 490 in the ratio. This means you are going to split 490, okay, to 4 to 3. So how do you, how do you get? Okay, how do you split 490 into 4 and 3. So before I look at your answer, so what you should do is, so in fact, you need to split 490 into 4 units to 3 units. So total, you get 7 units, right? So 7 units is your 490. So therefore, 1 unit is 70. So 4 unit is 4 unit is 4 times 70, you get 280. So 3 unit, you will get 210. So your answer is correct. Okay, but the working should be this. All right, are you clear?
Yes.
How come your name changed to Yellow Pirate Auntie?
Because I'm a pirate.
Oh, all right. Okay. So what is my name, by the way? Yeah, you are a pirate now, but what is my name?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, I didn't name myself. All right, question 4. Question 4 says a man distribute his savings among his 3 sons in the ratio. Okay, yeah, same thing. So you have 4 to 3 to 3. So in fact, you are going to have 4 units, 3 units, and then 3 units. And if you total up this, you're going to get 10 units, right? So you have this man has $4,000. So 10 units is $4,000. So 1 U is, so 1 U is 400. Okay. And then of course, over here it says find the amount received by his first son. I am assuming this is first. Okay. So 4 unit will be $1,600. Did you get 1,600? Did you get 1,600? Yeah,
don't think.
you get 1,600. Okay, so it's,
Let me open my own PDF on this side.
yeah, you can. You can, but of course you are actually looking at your own PDF already, which is here. I can also
Yeah, but put it on another PDF.
I can also split screen, yeah.
Okay, I got it. I have my own PDF out.
Nice. But anyway, I have split screen, and then on the left, you see my work, and on the right, you see your PDF with answers. All right. So yeah, so far, I think you are pretty comfortable with this topic. So that means your P6 knowledge is still applicable. Okay. But of course, you can make use of the HCF concept. All right. Over here, it says if the ratio AB is 2 to 3, BC is 3 to 4, and then find the ratio of AC, pretty easy as well. So for this question, okay, AB is 2 to 3, and then BC is 3 to 4. In fact, right, if you do this question, I highly recommend, if you did not do it this way, I highly recommend you move this BC equals to 2 to 4, you move it below. So BC is 3 to 4. All right. I highly recommend you move it below, and of course you align the B with the B here. All right. So once you align the B with the B here, can you see that both B's, there are 3 units. So there is no need for change or transformation because both are 3. Can you see both are 3? So there is no need to change the B to a common multiple. In fact, you are going to use LCM in this case later on. You will see it. Okay. So HCF just now, LCM from now onwards. But over here, both are 3 already. You're not going to change it. So you just pick A is 2, C is 4. So A is 2, A to C is 2 to 4. And of course, you need to simplify it. Okay. The final answer has to be the simplest form. So your answer 1 to 2. Okay. Did you get the 1 to 2 from, is there an answer booklet behind? Oh no. Okay, so 1 to 2, yes. Okay, 1 to 2 is the answer. All right.
So if there's an answer booklet, right, I would have submitted a long time ago. A very, very long time ago.
Oh, okay. All right. next question. I'm going to show you, you can actually use this LCM. Okay, I don't have a question here, but I'm going to use my own example to show you, you need to make use of LCM, okay, to find this answer. Let's say they say A to B is 2 to 3, and then B to C is actually 4 to 5. So how are you going to do this question? Okay, so like I say, it's best to align them up and down. So this is 2 to 3. Okay, and then B to C is, the B is here. B to C is 4 to 5.
She stole my nightlight. She still stole it. Okay.
Okay, good. So yeah, you just put them, you put the A to B on top, and then you put the B to C below, and then you align the B together. So once you get the B aligned, and you will see that above the B is actually 3, below the B is actually 4. So you have a different B in this case. So when you have a different B in this case, what you need to do, you will make use of the concept of LCM. Okay? Because you have learned LCM already. So the LCM for 3 and 4 is actually, LCM of 3 and 4 is actually 12. That's the reason why you change the B to 12. When you change the B to 12, you times 4. So your A also needs to times 4. 2 times 4, you get 8. Okay, are you clear? Okay.
Yes.
Good. So your B for the B to C is actually 4. So how do you get 12? You times 3 to get 12. So your C also needs to times 3. So your C times 3, 5 times 3 is actually 15. Now you have the same B already, which is 12. So once you have the same B, then you can actually write down your A to C. So your A to C in this case is 8 to 15. And you realize 8 to 15 is the simplest. So A to C is 8 to 15. Okay, so you make use of the concept of LCM in this case, which you did not realize in primary 6. You knew how to do it, but you did not realize, oh, you're actually using the LCM, lowest common multiple. Right?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So in fact, from step 1 onwards, you actually know that, oh, you are actually doing LCM. All right. Okay, for 6, there are 2 numbers, 5 times the first and the 4 times the second are equal, find the ratio. Okay, so 5 times the first. So you 5 times the first means 5 times 5 is 25. And then 4 times the second. Then you 4 times 4 is 16. Find the ratio of the 2 numbers. 5 times the first and 4 times the second are equal. I think A is not correct. I think B is the correct answer. What do you think? Hello, what do you think? They say 5 times the first. Now you times 5, and then over here you times 4. They are not equal. Over here is 25. Over here is 16. So 25 is not equal to 16. So how can your answer be A?
B.
Yeah, the answer should be B, because you times 5 here, you times 4 here, you will end up with 20 to 20. So the answer should be B instead of A. I thought this question is pretty simple, and you got it wrong. All right?
I am small brain.
Okay. So question 7, find the fourth proportion, 4, 9, 12. You understand what they talk about here? Fourth proportion. Actually, like I say, the English part is harder than the mathematics part in this assignment. Okay. So sometimes some of the questions, the English.
What country did this like?
Again, I didn't get.
Come from?
Pardon?
What country did this question paper come from?
You look at the US dollar notes here, I think it's USA. Over here is US dollars. Okay.
Yeah, but US people supposed to be very good at math, right?
I don't
Not
know.
American. They're good at English.
I don't know. Yeah, that's why you see they are good at English. That's why English is a bit hard for us. They use their terms, they use their language.
What is the proportion, by the way?
Yeah, fourth proportion of 4, 9, 12. I don't quite understand this question as well. But anyway, I try to guess. There's an n here. So what I'm trying to say is probably you have 4 times what to get 12. So 4 times 3 to get 12. So your 9 also need to times 3 to get 27. So I guess the answer is 27, D. All right.
What if it's B?
Okay, why? Okay, you need to explain to me why you choose 36.
Because I think proportion means the same number.
Same number. What do you mean by same number? What that means? Are you trying to find the pattern? What is the pattern according to your answer, 36?
That means like 4 times 9 can become 36. 9 times 4 can become 36. 12 times 3 can become 36.
Where is the 3? It does not make sense because over here you need to see there is an n in between. Can you see the n in between? So if you have the n in between, right? You have the n in between. So basically you need to, that means the 4 to 9 is the first ratio and you are asked to find the second ratio, right? And the n is dividing these two ratios. All right. So I think the most likely answer in this case is 27 because you times 3 to get 12 from 4 and therefore the 9 you have to times 3 to get 27. Okay. So I guess the most likely answer for this is 27.
All right. What does proportion mean?
Proportion means, oh, okay. So just for the sake of understanding the word proportion. By the way, you know that this chapter is called ratio and proportion, right? Right? So the meaning of proportion means, have you heard of proportional? Proportional. Yeah. Have you heard of the word proportional? Okay, so which means, let's say if I, pardon?
Kind of.
Kind of? No, the meaning. It means
I've heard of the word, but I don't know the meaning.
Oh, okay. So proportional means, okay. Okay. You are, what's your weight? Do you mind sharing with me your weight?
What?
What's your weight?
I'm not telling you.
Okay, I guess you are 40 kg. Okay. So this is your weight. So this is my weight.
Can I give you my brother's weight?
No, it's okay. So my weight is 80 kg. So proportionally, you are supposed to eat less than me. Okay, you're supposed to eat less than me. So probably you eat 2 meals a day, but your 2 meals probably is just like, I don't know, maybe 1 kilogram. Okay, but for me, because I'm 80 kilogram, because my weight is much, my weight is double your weight, so I have to eat more to support my weight. So probably I eat 2 meals as well, but I eat more than you. Probably I will eat just 2 kg. So to be proportional. So over here, the weight is actually times 2. So therefore, the consumption here is also times 2. So in this case, this is proportional. So this is the meaning of proportional. Okay. All right. So this is one example of proportional. So proportional is an adjective. Proportion is a noun. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the meaning of proportion. So similarly, find the third proportion of 16 and 36. So in fact, right, I think I will say the question is not so clear over here. Okay, the question here is not so clear. So I don't quite understand what the question is actually asking as well. Okay, so that's why you put a question mark. And I don't think your school is going to give you this kind of question. I mean 7 and 8. I don't think they are going to give you this kind of question. But definitely they will give you question 1 to 6. Okay, 7 and 8 normally they will not give you. Okay, and then of course 9 they will definitely give you. The ratio of two positive numbers is 4 to 7. So I'm going to just jump to 9. And then if the difference of the number is 15, find the largest number. Okay, your answer is D. So over here, in fact, this is the first and then this is second. The difference between these two is 3 units. Right? 3 units is the difference, and then the 3 units is 15. So 1U is 5. So if 1U is 5, the 4U is 20. 7U is 35. So you find the larger number. Yeah, your answer is correct, 35. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, nice. Wow, a lot of question mark. Sub-duplicate.
It's the questions with the proportion thing.
No, I'm talking about 10. So 10 sub-duplicate ratio of 9 to 16. So you need to find out 9 to 16 is, you can simplify 9 to 16. Can you simplify? No, you can't. Can you simplify further? You cannot, right? So your answer D is not correct. You put 3 to 4. How can it be 3 to 4? Over here, you divide by a 3. Over here, you divide by 4. You cannot divide by different numbers, right? It has to be proportional, right? Proportional means you divide by 3 here, you must divide by 3 here. That's called proportional. Ratio, if you want to simplify, you need to divide by the same number. In this case, they are not the same. This, you divide by 3. Over here, you divide by 4. So they are not, you are dividing different numbers. So that's why 3 to 4 is not the answer. Definitely 3 to 5 is not the answer. So if you try to divide and you don't get the answers, so you do times. When I look at sub-duplicate, like what I'm trying to, I'm guessing they are asking you, so that means 9 to 16 is equal to what? So let's say you put 81, so you times 9, so you times 9, 6, 9 is 54, so 144. So A is also not correct. So I'm going to test for the 27 over 64. So if I put 27 here, you times 3, it should be 48, not the same. So I can only choose C, 9 to 16, which is the same answer. All right. But anyway, I don't think they will ask you for this question because I don't think the word sub-duplicate will be taught next time. But over here, the mean proportion of 16 and 9. So what is the mean proportion? Any idea? And I don't think this concept is tested in your syllabus as well. So we just cross this out. Okay. So sub-duplicate mean proportion, you are not going to learn it in your school. So we are not going to talk about it. Okay. So find the duplicate ratio of 4 to 5. I think there are many. Duplicate means copy. Duplicate means copy. Copy means the exact copy. Exact copy. If I say, please duplicate this question, that means you copy the question. Okay. So if you copy, so basically you get it either times 2 on both, you get 8 to 10. This is one possible answers. Okay. And then of course you can go ahead and do a lot more. Okay. So if you times 3, then you get 12 to 15. So all right. 8 to 10 is one of the answers, but 8 to 10 is not the only answer. Okay. 13. The total number of male and female employee in the company is 60. That means they total up to 60. Which of the following represent the ratio of male and employee in the company? So over here, you know what they want to test you? So if total is 60, right? And for number of people, you cannot have half. You cannot have decimal number for number of people. Okay, so therefore you need to choose the 1 to 4. I think it's possible because 1 unit is 15, then 4 unit is, can you, let me see. So 1 to 4, so total is 5, so it's 12 here and 48 here. Okay, this is possible. 4 to 3 cannot, because 60 cannot divide by 7 to have a whole number. Cannot. Okay, you're going to get decimal number, right? 1 to 6 cannot. 5 to 3 cannot. So the only possible answer is A. Yeah. Do you understand? 13. So in fact, they are testing you. If you have 60 people, you only can split to 1 to 4. You cannot split to 4 to 3 because if you have 60, you split to 4 to 3. How you split? Total is 7 units. So you're going to have what? You're going to have decimal number. And then for number of people, you cannot have decimal number, right? You cannot say, I have 1.2. I have 1.2 people, right? Doesn't make sense, right? Can you have 1.2 people? Can you?
If you cut a person in 1/5, then yes.
So you are trying to kill the person and then cut the person into like, okay.
I mean, you can amputate their arm lah.
How? You cut the head, how much you should cut? How can you cut equally? You can't, right? It's pretty hard, right?
Cut here, cut here, and then cut the leg.
Okay, like no wonder you are a pirate. All right. So anyway, so basically the question tests you among these 4 answers. So you need to choose the one that can be 60 can be divisible by them. Okay. So the only answer is A. 60 can divide by 5. All right. 60 cannot divide by 7. 60 cannot be divided by 8. All right. 14. They say the LCM of the 2 answers is 160 and the ratio is this. Find the radius. Okay, pretty easy. LCM of 2 numbers is 160. So what are the 2 tips I have given you for LCM? Do you remember?
Let me grab my.
No. That means you can't remember.
Yes,
I don't need you to refer. Number 1, all prime factors. And then choose the highest power.
All prime numbers, highest power for that prime numbers.
Correct. Choose the highest number. Okay. So if you have LCM, which is 160, so how do you get the prime factorization for 160? So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. And you are going to end up with 2 to the power of 5. So I'm going to write it in index notation. So it's 2 to the power of 5 times 5. So all prime factors. So that means your first number and then the second number, they should have, there are many possible answers. But their ratio is 4 to 5. Okay, remember the ratio is 4 to 5. So I need to test means I need to have, I can have 2 here, right? And then the second one is I can have a 5 here, right?
Can I mute myself?
I need to have 2 to, again?
Can I mute myself?
You don't have to because it's just between you and me. You mute yourself.
No, but you can hear the WhatsApp, the ding, right?
Actually, no.
Yeah, see?
Now, yes. I don't know why you, okay, then you should just, you should
That's
mute
my class saying goodbye to each other.
No, you should mute your WhatsApp instead of
okay.
So you can either mute your WhatsApp or you can mute yourself. So which one makes noise? So you just mute that one. All right. So what's your answer? Find the largest of the 2. So your answer is 40. So you decide this is 40. So 40 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Right? So if this is 2 times 2 times 2 times 5, so that means over here, the first one, you are going to have 2 to the power 5. And what is 2 to the power 5? 32. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So 32 to 40. So if you simplify this, you get 4, and then of course you get 8. You get 5. So the yes. So the largest of the two numbers is 40. Yeah, correct. Okay. 40 is the larger number of the two. 32 is the smaller number of the two. All right. Very good. All right. If A divided by 2, find the ratio. Wow. I'm afraid that you are wrong for this question. And this is a very common mistake. A over 2 equals to B over 3 equals to C over 4. Actually, for this question, you need to make the denominator the same first. How do you make the denominator the same? Times 6, times 6, times 4, times 4, times 3, times 3. Can I ask you what concept I use here? LCM. Because the LCM for 2 and 3 and 4 is 12. That's why I make all of these 12. Once I have all of them 12, I can delete this already. And then I have 6A is going to equal to 4B is going to be equal to 3C. So from this, you can see that C is the biggest, right? C is the biggest. That means B is the second biggest. A is the smallest. Okay. So in fact, the ratio for this 3 should be, you say this is, let me write down 6A is equal to 4B. Sorry. 6A is equal to 4B. And then 4B is equal to, okay, I write it in this manner. 4B is equal to 3C. So for this, what you can do is you find out from this first, what is the ratio between A and B. So the ratio between A and B is, let me just get rid of this first. So the ratio between this is A over B is actually, so 6 is below, 4 is above, so divide by 2, you get 2, divide by 2, you get 3. So in fact, A to B is 2 to 3. A to B is 2 to 3. So from here, B to C is actually 3 to 4. Right?
Okay.
So therefore, B to C is 3 to 4. So if you write them all down, you will get 2 to 3 to 4, which is your answer. Okay? Yeah, which is your answer. Okay? Good. You could have you could have done it in your own way, but I have shown you another approach. Over here, wow, it's getting more complicated. So over here it says x over 4 is equal to y over 3. What you do is, okay, one technique you can do here is x over y is 4 over 3, right? Right? So once you get this, find the ratio x plus 4 to y over 3. So x plus 4 over y plus 3, you're going to get x is 4. So 4 plus 4 is 8. And then over here, 3 plus 3. So you're going to 8 over 6. And then 8 over 6 is divided by 2. You get 4. Divided by 2, you get 3. So it's 4 over 3. Do you get 4 over 3? Yeah, very good. So the ratio is 4 over 3. Okay. So it looks like you have done a lot of questions correct. Okay. Which is quite a good sign. Okay.
I am big brain.
Good. I mean, you are getting better and better since your P6 second half. All right.
I just ended P6 yesterday. So what do you mean since your P6?
No, since P6 second half means you are progressing very well. You are getting better than than we first met.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, 17. In a class, 20% of boys is equal to one quarter of the girls. So this is percentage mixed with fraction. So this is the mathematics representation. So if you have this 20%, you change to fraction, you will get 1/5. So 1/5 B is equal to 1/4 G. So you could have done this. So B to G is actually 5/4. Yeah, you get it correct. So find the compound ratio of 2:3 and 5:4. I don't think this is also in your syllabus, the compound ratio. Okay, so we will not learn compound ratio. Okay. 19. The sum of 5 times the first number and 2 times is going to be equal to twice the difference of the. Okay. You know what? Like I say, the English part is more difficult than the math part. Once again. All right.
Why is their English so hard to understand?
I mean, they are trying to make things complicated in English. That's why. Okay, then. Okay, never mind. So anyway, they just try to test your English as well. The sum of.
But why make English hard? Why not
okay.
make just question hard?
5 times the first, sum of them, so it's 2 times the second, is equal to the difference of the twice of the first minus the twice of the second. This. Then they ask you find the ratio of the two numbers. Just test 1 and 6. So 1 and 6 is 5 plus 12, you get 5 plus 12, you get 17. And then this is 1, this is 6. Do you get 17? No, you don't get 17. No. So 1 to 6 is not. 6 to 1 also doesn't make sense. 2 to 1, what about 2 to 1? So you have 2, you have 1, over here is what? 12. You have 2, you have 1, no. Right? No, yeah. Right? Then 3 to 4, what about 3 to 4? Doesn't make sense. Cannot. But the thing is, one of them should be correct. How? Difference of twice of the first, twice of the second. Did we miss out something?
I don't think so.
I think
it's just that English is hard to understand and we decided not to follow.
So in fact, right, I guess over here, the second number has to be the smaller number. The second number has to be the smaller number. Okay, so let's test the smaller number, which is this is 3 to 4. If this is 3 to 4, or this is 4 to, let me see. So find the ratio of the two numbers. Okay, so 3 to 4. 3 to 4, this is 3 to 4. They are not equal. Looks like 6 to 1 is more likely. Six to 1 is more likely. 1 to 6. This is what? 5 plus 12, 17? Nope. 2 to 1? Doesn't make sense. 1 to 6? No. Oh, hold on. 1 to 6, this is 17. 1 to 6, the difference is, no, doesn't make sense. None of them.
So the question is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twice and then twice. Yeah, they don't make sense. Hold on. Try, okay, equal to twice the difference of, oh, no, times two, I'm sorry. I missed out something. That's why I say the English part is harder than the mathematics part. Can you see the word twice here? I missed out the twice here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that means I have my 5. So that means I have my 5 x, then my 2y is equal to, I have a 2 in front, then I have my 3x, and then of course I have my how many y? 2y. Yeah, over here, I mean, right now I think it start to make a bit of sense. Okay, so what about 1 to 6? So 1 to 6 is 5, so 17. No, 17 doesn't make sense because 2 times you can't have it. Then 6 to 1. So you're going to have 32. So this is 6 to 1. 18 minus 2. Yep. So 6 to 1 is the answer. So 2 times 16 is 32 as well. So B is the answer. You got it?
Mm.
Okay. So that means I missed out the twice just now. Okay. So normally when you get a question and then if you find no answer from the question, that means you have to, you need to double check your answer. Okay. Last question. 20. If 60 men do a piece of work in R, this question is very common in secondary school. I think you have this in your P6 PSLE as well, right? Huh? Do you have this? 6 men, 60 men, 27 days, complete one task. Then in how many days? 18 men, days, one task. Can you still remember this?
I think so.
60 men.
Anyways, I think my question is wrong.
Your answer is wrong, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you need to ask yourself is, you ask yourself, what is the factor from 60 to 80?
Found the answer. It's B, not D.
So you divide by, so your manpower reduce. If your manpower reduce, right, your days should increase. So manpower reduce, time increase. So that means your days, the number of days should be higher than 27 by this factor. So what is this factor? Can you help me out using your calculator? Give me a mixed number. 60 divided by 18.
0.75.
So nice.
Yeah.
So 60 divided by 0.75, you get 18.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay, good. So basically the factor is cannot, let me double check. So I launch my calculator here. 60 divided by 18. No leh, three times something.
Oh, 18. I thought it said 18.
18 ma, over here.
3.3333333.
Stop there. I want a mixed number.
10 out of 3.
Mixed number 3 and 1/3. So your day, your time should times this. So you times 27 times 3 and 1/3. 90 days. Right? So your answer should be 90 days.
Okay.
Because over here your manpower reduce, so you have less manpower to do the work, the same task, so the number of days should increase. All right. So therefore you times, over here you divide, and then here you times, and then you get 90 days. That's the answer. 60 is not correct. All right, 60 is not correct. All right. How come you're getting so weird these days?
Okay. I'm not weird.
Okay.
I am me.
By the way, we are not having Zoom cosplay. Okay, we're having mathematics lesson over Zoom. We're not doing a cosplay or dress up.
This is
or,
the cosplay.
okay, or dress up. Okay, so just
I am
to,
being the human I am.
okay, just to add on to the question we did just now. So you have 60 men, 10 days to complete one task. What if you have 40 men now? Okay, 2 tasks. How many days? Okay, can you figure it out on your own? Are you using a MacBook or iPad?
MacBook.
Okay, good. So that means you need to use you just do it on a piece of paper, which makes it easier for you.
30 days.
Wrong.
Why?
Your manpower is 40.
Yeah. Wait, let me try again.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure. But when you say the question so fast, then I will start to doubt.
60 times 10, right? And then
I don't know, but you need to at least tell me why you get the answer. Because I
because
don't.
60 times 10 times 2 equals to, wait,
This is not the way I teach you to do this question, right?
yeah.
How can you, okay, so basically what you're telling is, oh, I just times them together, so this is 60, then that's why. Is that the way you do it?
Kind of.
So that means you are wrong.
Okay.
Your answer might be correct, but I think the logic is wrong.
What's my logic wrong? Wait, why is my logic wrong?
For this question, you need to use logic. Okay, something like here. Something like here. So what you are telling me is your this 60, you times the 27. So tell me what's the answer? 60 times 27.
60 times 27. 1620.
1620. So you are telling me 18 times 90. It looks like they are the same. Huh? Seems like you can use this method. So 18 times 90 is also 1620.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So seems like this way of doing it works. Okay, let me test. Okay, I'm not going to use your I'm not going to use your method. Okay, I'm going to use logic. Okay, so take a look at my method and see if we get the same answers. Okay, over here, you have 60 men, 10 days, one task. Okay, now I want to ask myself, 60 men to complete 2 tasks. What do you think? How many days? 20 days. Do you know why? Because your task is double. Task is double. Same manpower. Of course, number of days is double. Right? So that's why you have 60 men, 20 days, you will complete 2 tasks. Right? Now, you have 60 men. Now the manpower is reduced. Okay? What is the factor here? 60 to 40. Can you tell me? 60 divided by what equals to 40?
30. Wait, no. 60 divided.
So 60 divided by 40.
1.5.
So nice.
Yeah.
1.5.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So 60 divided by 1.5, you get 40 men. So the manpower reduce. So the number of days go up. Go up by 1.5. So the answer is 30 days. Okay, yeah. So the answer is 30 days. But I hope you should use this. You should use this logic to find the answers instead of times them together. All right.
Okay.
So this is the way you should approach this question. Okay. All right. Okay. So in fact, I think you face Did you get this question in your PSLE?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, okay. Since we are talking about your PSLE, you know that you are getting your PSLE results.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Are you excited? Are you excited?
No,
Why not?
because no.
Yeah, why not?
Who knows what mark I might get?
Oh, okay, good. So I guess your holiday has officially started, right? Okay, good. Okay, so yeah, welcome to the holiday, yeah. And you won't be going anywhere, right?
I don't know.
All right, so before we go to the second half of the lesson, let's have a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Okay, before we wow, a lot of question mark. So we will talk about your this 4B. Did you send me your 4C?
No,
Why not?
I don't want to.
Oh,
Later
okay.
go through so many questions, I cannot keep up.
Okay, good. So for ratio, if you look at your this syllabus, if you look at your syllabus, hold on, let me go to sharing photo. Where's the sharing photo? No, sharing folder. This sharing folder, your stuff, syllabus. If you look at the syllabus here, okay, the syllabus here, in fact, today we are mainly doing the ratios involving rational numbers. Okay, later I will go through this what ratio involving rational numbers. Okay, simplest form done already just now. Yeah, then problems involved. So later we will talk about this. All right. So I will see you in 5 minutes.
Check your WeChat.
Yep, sure. I okay. But anyway, we should be focused. Huh? Okay. See you in 5 minutes.
Okay. Adios.
我不给了，不给，不要那 spoil 的嘛。
OK，
让你学的。
这个。I okay. I also use some of the worksheets online, but I'm not going to charge them for this.
This worksheet very good. You that's not.
Yeah, are we back?
Hey, by the way, I have a guest speaker.
What?
You know what's guest speaker? No?
No.
Guest speaker means you don't know what's guest speaker, man? Like a guest or like invite a guest, then just you don't know what?
No.
Okay, never mind. Guest speaker means another person. Okay, so you just send me hi and then emoji. So never mind.
Yes.
Okay, good. So yeah, let's continue. Okay, let's continue. Oh, you have other questions for me?
No.
Okay, before I continue, I want to share with you. You know, I share a note with you, right? This is the one.
Yes.
Okay, so like I say, this is the summary PDF. Okay, I have created using the app Notes. Okay, on your MacBook or on your iPad. Okay, so just to share with you how you can actually so instead of writing on your papers these days, so you can actually make use of this app Notes. Okay, you can actually like do it in this format, bullet points, and of course if you don't like bullet points so much, you can actually add in the photos over here. And then of course, if you have problems understanding certain concept, you can just click on the link. Can you see the link here? Okay, so once you click on the link here, you will get redirected to the lessons. Okay, and exactly that portion of the lesson. So we are talking about HCF and LCM, right? So yeah, you see. All right. So I will say that these days, I think if you make use of technology, I think you can actually have a very good summary for each chapter. So in fact, this is a summary PDF for chapter 1. They are all here already. Okay. You like to do notes, right? You have to take down notes, right? Yeah. So you can actually make use of this app also.
But I already have all the notes, so I don't need these anymore.
No problem. What I'm saying is like, I'm just giving you some idea. You can make use of this notes app to do it digitally instead of on a piece of paper. All right.
Yes, but my mom wants me to do it on a piece of paper.
Oh, okay. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. All right. Because I think you have the habit of losing your papers. All right. You have the habit of losing papers, right?
Smiley face I drew.
I asked you where are your notes? Maybe my brother. Maybe my brother have it. No. Okay, never mind. So let's look at this. So if x over y is 3 to 5, so over here means they express this ratio in fraction format. And then it says find this over this. Okay, so simple. This is super simple. Okay, once again, let me just put it side by side. I'm going to put it side by side. So I have this, and then I have the PowerPoint on the right hand side this time round. All right. Over here, you have this x over y is 3 to 5. So 3x plus 4y over 5x minus 2y. How come there are so many brackets here? Okay, but I think they have an extra brackets here, which is not needed. You see, this is not needed. All right. So x is 3 units, y is 5 units. So what you need to do, you just have to like sub this into it. So 3 times 3, 9. 4 times 5, 20. You're going to have 29 above. Over here, 5 times 3, 15. 2 times y is 10. So you have 5 below. So the answer is D. Correct. Okay. Oh, by the way, let me emphasize to you here. What if your answer is 29 over 5? Do you need to get it into mixed number? 5, 4 over 5?
Whole number. Just do whole number.
Whole number?
Yeah, 5. Because it's 25 what?
Okay, so you are saying 5.8 and then the answer is 5?
No, but you wrote 5 at the top of like 25 and 5 equals to 5.
Now what I'm saying is like, let's say if you get 29 over 5, so what should be your final answer for this question? Which one? How do you decide?
Wait, but isn't the top 5?
Which one top?
Is this 5 or
No,
29?
this is 29, 29, 29. 29, yes.
Okay, Lord, then it's like this.
So you will choose the first number. Okay. Okay. By the way, how do you decide? Okay. That's the most important question.
If
In
it's
fact,
a fraction, then you turn it into a fraction. If the question has a fraction but it states you want to put like this, then you put like this.
Okay, good. So if, okay, for this chapter, we are talking about what concept we are talking about here? Ratio, right? Okay. For this chapter, we are talking about ratio. The question here wants you to find the ratio. Okay. So if you get 29 over 5, that is the answer. Because 29 over 5 is a ratio. Is a ratio in this case. So that's why you stop here. Okay. 29 over 5 is a ratio. Therefore, 29 over 5 is the answer for this question. Okay. When do you get 29 over 5 into 5 and 4 over 5? Okay. Is when this question is not about ratio. If this is not, this question is not ratio question, then you are supposed to express your answer in the simplest form. Are you clear? Are you clear? So are you clear when you stop here, and then when you need to continue to convert it into a mixed number? So 29 over 5, if it's a ratio question, you take this. If this is not a ratio question, this is just a normal question, and you are asked to find the answer, the final answer should be in simplest form, which is here. Or if you don't want to confuse the marker and yourself, if they ask for ratio, you better express 29 to 5. So this is very clear. This is ratio. Okay. Okay. I think you need to put,
Yes.
I think you need to put a mole here, so that or a scar, so that you look more like a pirate. Now you don't look like a pirate. No scar, no mole.
There. Pirate.
Okay. Next, two numbers are in the ratio 9 to 8. If 14 is subtracted from each, the real ratio is this. Then you asked me about this question, right?
Yes.
So two numbers are in the ratio. So basically, they are 9 to 8. So that means this is 9u and then this is 8u. And if 14 is subtracted from each, that means this 9u minus 14, 8u also minus 14. So 9u minus 14 over 8u minus 14. The ratio is actually 8 to 7 now. So how do you solve this question now? Do you know how to solve this? Now you look more like a pirate with the mole.
There is no more. This is a mustache.
Mustache, but okay, yeah. So do you know how to solve this question now? Try it on a try it on a piece of paper. Are you allowed to use the video filter in your class, Zoom class?
In my school?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, so you also put on this filter?
No. Yeah, I also put on this, but weirder.
Oh, really? Your teacher never comment anything?
My teachers are all sick of me already.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
My class.
Do you know that this video is recorded? You're going to see your video when you grow up. Okay.
Doesn't matter. I will still find it funny.
How are you going to explain yourself to your kids next time?
I am funny.
Okay. Okay, so what's the answer
That's
for
how I
this?
will explain.
What's the answer for this? So they are asking what? Find the numbers. Okay. Actually, you can use trial and error. So what's that? Huh?
Oh, you can use trial and error.
Yeah, you
Yes.
can. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, one way is trial and error. So test A, B, C, D, E. Yeah. So see which one fits. You have chosen D.
I think D fits. I still think D fits.
So you are saying 54. So you are saying 54 minus 14 and then 63 minus 14. So 63 minus 14 is
Wait, never mind, never mind, never mind.
no leh. Doesn't make sense. Wow, you have gone from worst to worst.
I am a child. Please ignore.
So I think D is not correct.
A and B also not correct.
Oh,
So is C. So it must be E, I think.
okay. Let's so instead of doing trial and error, just let me just do it without knowing. Okay, so what you could have done is 9u minus 14 is 8. So basically you can use the simultaneous equation to find out. This is 8t, this is 7t. So can you tell me what is u and what is t? Okay, never mind. Let's not do it this way because this way is more complicated than the other way. So what you could have done is you can do the cross multiplication. Okay. So 9u minus 14 times 7. I'm going to use a dot. I'm not going to use x because x, a lot of students, they confuse x with times. So I just use a dot in between, okay, in the middle, okay. And then 8u minus 14, and then you have the times 8. So just open a bracket, you get 63u minus 98, 64u minus 112. So you just move things around, 63u over, so you get 1u here. 112 minus 98, so it's 4, then 14, right? So 1u is 14. Yes, 1u is 14. So they ask find the numbers. So 9u is 9 times 14. So 9 times 14 is how much? So
126.
126. 8u is how much?
What do you mean?
8u is 112, right?
Yeah. Wait.
So 126 minus 14. So 126 minus 14 is
112.
112. So 112 minus 14 is
98.
98. Okay, so based on this, I need to minus 14 some more. 112 minus 14,
84.
84. 98 minus 14,
70.
70. Then
Minus 14 again is 56. Then minus 14 again is 42.
Never mind about it.
And then minus 14 again is 28. Minus 14 again is 14.
Never mind. So over here, none of
Minus
the
14 again is 0.
oh, it's okay. None of this makes sense. Okay, none of this makes sense. All right, u is supposed to be 14. Let me double check with my calculator. 112 minus, wait, because I think I make a mistake because of I use mental.
Made a
So
mistake.
I use mental. Okay, this is, let me double check. Let me double check. 14 times 8. Okay, good. So far so good. 112 minus 98. 14. Okay, good. So no mistake. Okay, so yeah, this is the answer. Okay, so none of the answer here fits the bill. All right, so the answer should be 126 to 112. All right, you can actually verify yourself. So the answer should be 112 and 126. You can actually verify yourself. 14 is subtracted from each. You minus 14, you minus 14, you will get 8 to 7. All right, that's how you test. Okay, next, there are 3 numbers. 5 times the first. Okay, 5 times the first. Okay, I can use, okay, let me do it over here. So I have more space. 5 times the first. 5, 8, sorry. 5, hold on, something is not right. 5 times the first, then 6 times the second are equal. 3 times the second, 2 times the third are equal. So from this, I already know that x to y is x to y is 6 to 5, right? Then y to z is 2 to 3. Okay, so with this, like I say, you can actually do it this way. Okay, put the x and y on top, and then y to z below. So you have 2 to 3, and then you see that you don't have the same y. So you need to get the LCM. The LCM is actually 10. So if this is 10, then this is 12. And if this is 10, this is 15.
Okay.
All right. Then you know that X to Y to Z is actually 12 to 10 to 15. And then you continue if the first number is 20 more than the third. So that means this and this is 3U is 20. Find the third number. If the first number is 20 more than the third, the first number is, oh, okay. So the first is actually not 12. The first is actually 10. Okay, do you know why? Because 10 is the smallest. Okay, 10 is the smallest here. Can you
Okay.
see? 10 is the smallest. So 10 is the smallest, and then this is the largest, and then this is the in the middle. So this is the first, this is the second, and then this is the third. And between these two is 5 units. 5 units is 20. So 1U is 4. So they ask find the third number. So it's 4 times 15, that's 60. So that's why the answer is D. Yeah? Right? Okay.
Okay.
So tomorrow you go to your friend's birthday party with all this makeup. Okay.
Cool.
Question 4. Okay, question 4. Okay, question 4 is more complicated than the one we did just now. But anyway, you just have to align them together. A to B is 2 to 1. And then B to C is 3 to 5. And then C to D is 4 to 5. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to make use of the LCM 2 times. So over here, what you see is you don't have the same B, so you need to make the same B. Okay, the same B. So this is 3. This has to be 6. Okay, now they're the same. And now what you have is you need to have the same C. So if you want to have the same C, the LCM is 20. So this is 20. This is 12. This is 20. This is 25. Okay, so can you see that now your B has become 12. So your B has to become 12. So from 3 to 12, you times 4. So 6 times 4 is 24. So therefore, A to B to C to D is A is 24, B is 12, C is 20, and then D is 25. So let me see. Oh, they even have the E to D. Okay, but anyway, okay, so this is the way. All right. Okay. All right. So now they have E to D. So D is 5. If I continue, so D okay, so funny. D is 5. E is 6. So now D is 25 already. You times 5. So this is 30. So that means E is 30. So the answer is boy, correct? B for boy. All right. So once again, a person distributed 2,000 among 3 persons, ABC. If A gets twice as much as C, so A, C, okay, A gets twice as much as C and B gets twice. So I'm assuming this is 3 times to 1, and then C to B is 1 to 2. So A to B to C will be 3 to 2 to 1. Okay, then find the ratio of ABC. So ABC is 3 to 1, which is C, correct? Okay, one number is 20% more, another person is 20% less than the third. Okay, pretty easy. This is a step up and a step down. So you will have one question 20% more. So if the one number is 20% more, another number is 20% less than the third, find the ratio of the two numbers. One number is 20% more, another number is 20% less than the third. Well, I guess the meaning of this is one number is 20% more than the third. Okay, they are comparing to the third number. Okay, both. Then another is 20% less than the third. So if the third is 100%, right? So over here, you're going to have 120% for the first number, for the one number. So another is 20% less than the third. So this is going to be 80%. So 120% to 80%, you are going to have, you divide by 40, you're going to have 2 to 2. Yeah, you got it correct. And alloy, you know what's the meaning of alloy? Over here.
I don't really know.
Alloy means mixture.
I know alloy is a Genshin Impact character's name.
Now, alloy is a mixture of, it's a chemical mixture. Okay, so that's why you say contain tin and zinc. So basically, you just remember if, yeah, just a mixture. Okay, when it comes to chemical stuff, okay, in the ratio of 4 to 7, the zinc required to be melted with 24. So it's pretty simple. So you have 4 to 7. This is tin, and then this is zinc, and then it says the zinc is 24. Okay, 24 kgs of tin. So this is 24. So how much zinc is required? So this is times 6. So because of proportionality, you times 6 as well. So therefore you get 24. 42. You're right.
I have big brain.
Yeah, what is the value of P minus 7 to this? This is simple. So P and Q 7 to 8, the value. So basically P minus 7 over 8 or Q minus 8. So P is 7 minus 7, 8 minus 8. So basically you have 1 to 1. So what is the value? They ask for value. Value means they want the final answer. So the final answer is 1. Okay. Can you see? They ask for the value, right?
Yes.
What if they ask for the ratio?
1 to 1.
Correct. So if they ask for the ratio, hold on. Something is not right. If they ask for the ratio, the answer is 1 to 1. Okay. If they ask for the value, 1. Okay. So please differentiate. Please be very cautious. Okay. Please be very cautious what they want. Okay. They're asking for value, so it's 1. If they're asking for ratio, it's 1 to 1. All right. Now, 9, then what is the value of A plus? Okay, this is also very simple. You just add them up and then you should get 7 to 9. Correct. Oh, this one, I thought you should be able to do it, right? Question 10. How come? How come question 10 is not done? So what is so hard about this question?
What is AP and BQ?
Just times them together.
Oh, okay.
So you want to figure it out on your own?
I will try.
While you are trying, let me go and grab a drink and then come back quickly. All right. What's your answer?
I'm still looking for the answer.
All right. So A to B is 4, 5, 2 to 3, 3, 8. So over here, you need to make use of the concepts learned in the first chapter. Are you done?
Is it 45 over 61?
I'm not sure. Let me 45 over 61, right? Your answer. Okay, let's do it together. So you already have it in this manner. What you do next is you just replace. Okay. So A is replaced by 4, which is times. P is replaced by 2. B is replaced by 5. Q is replaced by 3. So 4 times 4, I mean, this is 12 times 2 is 24. 24 minus, cannot be there. So 24 minus 15, you should end up with 9 on top. Okay, it's not working. Okay. Hold on, it's not working properly. Let me just get it. Yeah. So you are supposed to get 15 above here. So above you should get 9. And then if you replace your A with 4, and then you replace the P with 2, and then the B with 5, the Q with 3 times. So this is going to be 16 plus 45. This is going to be 61. Yeah, so it's 9 to 61. Is there a 9 to 61? Yeah, 9 to 61 instead of 45. I don't know how you get 45, because if you look at this, you're not supposed to get 45. It's minus. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Then probably you make a mistake somewhere for the numerator. Find the fourth proportion. Okay, this is not covered. Not covered. Find the third, not covered. The ratio of the third proportion, no need. If the 5 students can finish your project in 12 days, yeah. So this is a similar question. Okay, like what we did just now. So let me just relaunch this. All right, I have too many of this. I have to relaunch it so that I have, don't save, relaunch, presentation. Okay, good. What's your answer? Or your answer is 20 days. Okay, let's see. So you have 5 students, 1 project, 12 days. And now what you have is for the time taken by 3 students to complete 1 project, number of days. So the student, the manpower decrease. What's the fraction here? Can you help me out?
5 divided by 3, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
1 and 2 over 3. That's how you read it. 1
Yeah.
and 2 over 3. That's how you read this mixed number, right? And then manpower reduce, time should go up for the same task. So you have to times this factor, and then you are supposed to get 20 days. Yep, the answer is 20. All right. So in fact, it looks to me you can actually make use of your approach. What's your approach? Can you still remember? You times them together, right? When you times them together, you get 60. Therefore, in order to get 60 here, so here has to be 20. Because 60 divided by 3, that's why your question mark is 20. Okay? It looks like this method works. Okay? But I'm not going to use this method. Okay? I will still use the logic here and here. All right? All right, area of circle varies as the square of its radius. Given that the area of the circle is this, when the radius is 7, find the radius. Oh, okay, good. Okay, so the area of circle varies. So you know what's the meaning of varies? Okay, so what this question means, the area of the circle, which is, if this is the circle, and the radius is this. Okay, so what is the formula for area of circle? Area of circle is equal to pi r square, right? Okay, so given this area of circle is pi r square, so that means if your r here, or the r square here, okay, the r square here, if it increase, the area of the circle also increase, right? If the r square decrease, the area of the circle also decrease. Okay, I'm going to show you with some animation. That's the meaning of proportionality as well. I'm going to draw a circle. Can you see a circle here? Can you see a circle? Yeah. So this circle, this is the radius, right? This is the radius. Have you learned? Yeah, I think so. This is the radius. So if I make the area smaller, can you see the area smaller? And can you see that the radius is actually shrinks? Can you see the radius also shrinks? Okay, the radius shortened by, yep, the radius actually shortened by this much. Okay, so this is what we talk about here. Okay, so if your radius, if the radius goes up, the area goes up. If the radius decreases, in this case, the area of the circle also decreases. Okay, so this is a kind of proportionality. Radius go up, area go up, radius decrease, area decreases. All right. So with this understanding, we can talk about this. How come I got a white space here? Okay, thanks. So over here, say given that the area of the circle is 154 units when the radius is 7. Very simple. So now the area is, can you stop giving me all this? Yeah, thanks. So now it says the area is 154. While the radius is actually 7. Okay, so that means 7 squared. Okay, then this is your part. Because area of the circle is equal to pi r squared, right? So the area of the circle is 154, radius is 7. So therefore, this is the equation. Now it says find the area of the circle in units when the radius is 3.5. So now the radius is 3.5. So what do you think? How much will be the area? So that means the radius in this case is half, right? From 7 to 3.5, right? So what do you think? Do you think the area will decrease? I mean, will shrink by the factor of 2 or more?
2.
So you think the area will shrink by a factor of 2 as well?
Yeah.
The answer is not right because 154 pi 7 squared. Now, okay, can you help me out? Can you help me out? Pi is equal to 154 divided by 49. See what you get. Mixed number.
22 and 7.
Yep, good. So 22 over 7. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 22 over 7. And now my radius is 3.5. So it's 3.5 squared. So can you help me out? What is the area of the circle now? Can you help me out with your calculator?
7, 7,
No,
2.
mixed number, mixed number.
38 and a half.
Again?
38 and half.
38 and a half, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So basically your answer is B. So you compare. Your radius is half. The radius is half. What about this? Is it half? For the area, is it half or more than half? So the area is, so what's the factor here? 154 divided by 38 and half. Can you help me out?
4.
Yes. So in this case, the radius half, the area is actually a quarter. Because of the effect of this square. Okay. So it's not half for the area if the radius is half. The effect is a quarter. So similarly, question 16. So x varies inversely as a square of y. So in fact, for this question, you need to use, okay, probably you don't understand the meaning of inversely at the moment. Okay, so this, I don't want to cover this at the moment. Not yet. It is tested, but I don't want to cover this first. I want to go to the syllabus. Okay, I want to focus on ratios involving rational numbers. Okay, I want to focus on this 2.1.
Okay.
Ratios involving rational numbers. Okay, can you answer me? Can you give me some examples of rational numbers? Without referring.
1.
Okay. When you tell me this, when you tell me in this manner, right, you will miss out some of them because there is no system. There is no system for you to recall your memory. Okay. So in fact, I want to give you a system. So when it comes to rational number, what's the opposite of rational number? The opposite of rational number is called irrational number, right? Can you still recall?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the opposite of rational numbers They are called irrational numbers. So what are some examples of irrational numbers? Square root 8. Okay. Square root 2. All right. So these are irrational numbers. Okay. So that means as long as they are different from these two, then they are examples of rational numbers. So I will group them into what? Yeah. So you are actually trying to tell me what are some examples of rational numbers, but I'm going to give you a system.
Yeah.
So decimal number. Okay, let me add an extra word to this. It should be definite. You know what's the meaning of definite? What's the meaning of definite decimal number? Definite means it will stop like 4.2. Okay, 4.2 it stops. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yes.
And then 4.2222222. Okay. There is a pattern to it. Okay. So these two, they are rational numbers. And then fractions. In fact, the 4.22222, they are fractions. Is there such a thing? No, I think 4.222 don't have. It's
Isn't
actually
there supposed to be a dot on top of one of the two?
4.3333333. And then of course, if you want to simplify your writing, you can actually use 4.3 and then there is a dot on top. Yep, you're right. So this dot above the 3 represents that the 3 will repeat itself. Okay, so if you express this 4.333 in fractions, right, you can actually express it in this manner. Okay, 4 and 1/3. And then of course you have rational number, of course you have integers. So for integers, you have positive integers. And then you have the 0, and then you have the negative integers. Then for positive integers, they are called whole numbers. So this is what I call you have a system. So first, decimal number, fractions, and then integers. All right, so they are called rational numbers. Okay, so let me emphasize this point one more time. If 4.3 with a dot above the 3, it means 4.3, the 3 repeats itself. Then what about this? 4.123 with dots on above 1, dots above 2, dots above 3. So what you're going to get? Can you tell me? Can you tell me what you are going to get for this? Make a guess.
4.111111. Oh wait, no. 4.6666666666.
Oh, wait. If your dot is above the 3 will repeat itself, right? So that means the number that has the dot on top, that number will repeat itself. So over here, the 1 will repeat itself, 2 will repeat itself, 3 will repeat itself. So basically you have 4.123, 123, 123, 123, all the way up. So does it make sense to you now?
Yeah.
This is the meaning of this notation. Okay, it's a very neat notation, right? To represent rational numbers. Okay, so since we have learned about irrational numbers here, I mean last week or last lesson, in fact, you just stop at square root 8 and you stop at square root 2. Are you clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in primary 6, if you get square root 8, you tend to do what? You tend to, let me just launch my calculator. So you tend to do this. You tend to use the calculator and then use 8 and then you go and do a square root of it. And then probably you just write 2.83 and then 2, 3 significant figure. right? But actually, when you move to set 1, you don't have to represent it in this manner. If the question never asks for, you just write as square root 8 because this is the final answer. And this is a irrational number. Why? Because it's 2.82842712. There is no pattern. Can you see there is no pattern?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if there is no pattern, it's an irrational number. If there is a pattern, that means these are rational numbers. Can you see the difference between the rational numbers and irrational numbers?
Yes.
Good. So that's ratios involving rational numbers. So basically, right, you are going to have a lot of this. Let's say you are going to have 1/8 to 4.2. How are you going to solve this then? 1/8 to 4.2. How are you going to solve this? You are going to make it the same format first. So if this is fraction, you just put it as fraction. 4.2 as fraction. What is 4.2 in fraction?
0.125.
4 and 1/5, right? So if you change it, it should be 21/5. And then you just do it as, this is 2, right? So it's divide. So 1/8 divided by 21/5, you divide by this fraction is as good as times it. And then you flip it upside down. So therefore you get 5/168. So that's the answer. If you are asked to represent this in ratio. Simple? Okay. So this is fraction. And this is decimal number. And they are rational numbers. Okay. Then how are you going to express this? Square root 8 to 2. Can you? You cannot. You know why? Can't be done. Do you know why? Because this is not a rational number. This is an irrational numbers. So it's out of your syllabus. Out of your syllabus. Okay. We only want to do ratio for rational numbers. We don't want to do ratio for irrational numbers at the moment. Are you clear?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So with this, I think I can conclude our lesson today. Any other questions for me?
No.
No. Okay, so
Bye.
hold on. Next week, okay, have you done 4C at all?
Yes, I have.
Okay, because 4C, right? 4C is, their questions are actually much harder.
I don't like the questions.
Of course, because they are much harder, right?
I very much hate the questions.
Okay, so 4C, I will take 4C as the homework for the first part of chapter 2. In fact, the 4 and the 4B, they are actually a preview or intro. Okay, meaning they are so easy. Okay, just for you to warm up yourself. Okay, in fact, the real stuff is 4C. Okay, the real stuff is 4C. Can you stop changing your profile pic for the moment? So 4C is okay. Please do 4C with workings. Okay, please do 4C with workings. And of course, if you manage to finish 4C, and I'm going to put 5. So I will put 5 to the folder. All right. Hello.
Okay.
Okay, then one last thing. So if you find any file problematic,
they cannot use, then I tell you.
That means I really appreciate you telling me the file cannot be opened, or the files some files have problems. Okay, I really appreciate it. All right, so please let me know if you find files that have problem. Okay,
Okay.
Okay, good. So
Bye.
that's it. Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Mm.